That's how you start this.
Oh, man. Welcome to the Big Moter Small Blade podcast. I'm Buddy Pulley.
I'm Seth Dolby.
And that's Haley. Now, what's your name?
I'm going to CD Spinny. It's Caleb.
It's Caleb. He's back. And who knows for how long. He might be a permanent fixture. You never know. He wants to win out on the picks, so.
I got to come in strong. I'm going to come in drunk. I'm going to come in strong. I'm going to try to win the thing. I'm going to win it out.
Well, I mean, you still got a Larson pick yet, so you're ahead of both of us. Kyle Larson kicked everyone's ass at North Wilkesboro Speedway. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's over Caleb's shoulder, Bubba Wallace's message to the haters, and the New York State bird, and our experience at the North Wilkesboro All-Star Race and why you should have been there. Next on the Big Moter Small Blade podcast. What's up, everybody? We got a whole group here. I got Ralph over here too.
This is not the most people we've had on the podcast. It's now tied for the most people we've had on the podcast.
No, it's not. Ralph. We had 4. Oh yeah, if we count Ralph. I mean, I got oatmeal cream pie. I count Little Debbie.
That is again with the eating thing, but that's not a person.
Little Debbie's a MILF. Like I said, I'll say it once. I'll say it again.
She's indestructible too. I mean, she's been around for years. I mean,
you're telling me.
By a long shot.
Yeah. She must not be eating very much, Little Debbie, if she's been around this long.
Well, Kenny Schrader,
it's like a Coke dealer, man. You don't want to use your own product.
Yeah, you don't.
I thought Coke, you had to use your own product so people didn't think it was laced.
Maybe I don't know. I don't do drugs, so
I've never bought any, so I don't know. But
keyword bought. Anyway. All right. So after you don't get to talk because you had a good weekend. Caleb, how was your weekend watching Northwood? How was it portrayed to you on TV?
With the commercials, the build up, the nostalgia, I think it was all there. I mean, they hit every point on it. The highlights brought me back to a younger day. I felt pretty good. Seeing the revival process and then paying kudos to the guy who did it all, Dale Jr., man himself. No, I think it was good. The truck race, it was like a build up, the crowd, seeing all that stuff on TV. It brought back a very nostalgic feeling of the early 2000s. And I think overall it was a good weekend, good race. From a viewer perspective, it did go by pretty quick. But I think overall it was a good race, good competition.
Yep. Well, that's good. I guess it was Fox. All right. Wait, wasn't DW in the booth?
Yeah,
DW was in the booth.
How was that?
That was good. Actually, I thought his, because I just met DW back in May in person. At some point you think somebody just goes.
We're in May now.
This last year.
Okay.
He, at some point in age, you think that somebody becomes senile or forgets a lot of things.
Like me.
He was spot on in the booth. I think he hit everything on the head. His terminology was all there. Him and Clint Boyer going back and forth at it. I think it was pretty good overall.
Nice. I would have. That's one.
He did boogity. So I mean that
he did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I heard he didn't. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Where did that come from then? If he did do it,
man, I don't know. Twitter's wild.
Twitter is wild.
It's all AI.
I don't think Twitter. I don't think anybody on Twitter actually watches the race.
I don't think. Yeah, exactly. They're all not CBD. NPCs. Yeah.
Phonies.
Yeah. That's where CBD. That's where the festival was in downtown Wilkesboro. CBD Loop.
All right.
Reach out.
They didn't have any CBD there, but they had a bar that had 16-ounce Busch Lights for like $3. So that was cool.
Was that the bottles you posted about?
No, that was somewhere else. That was a place, Dooley's, over there across from Dylan Wilson's brewery, Two Barrows.
Okay.
Bob Pockers was eating lunch there when I was there.
By himself, probably, right?
Yeah, by himself. Mom decided that she needed to go bother him, as she always does with Bob. I feel like Bob is just being nice to be nice. I don't think he actually wants to be there. Love Bob.
He needs therapy.
I mean, if you dealt with the NASCAR Cup Series drivers on a week-to-week basis, you probably would need it too.
Son of a bitch, yeah. Anyway, our experience was awesome. I got down there Tuesday, and it got rained out. But even then, even waiting in the rain, waiting at the Sunglass Hut for the rain to come through, we thought a tornado was gonna hit. So that was fun. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die right here at Wilkes-Stock. So
Might as well.
yeah, I guess. But I did kind of want to see a race at it before I died, so I'm kind of glad that didn't happen.
I told your mom the next day, I said, it'd be tragic, but it'd be absolutely hilarious if all this work went in and a fucking tornado hit the racetrack before it.
Yeah, it looked looked rather ominous.
Yeah.
On Tuesday night, I'd say.
Did it look like that cloud on the way to Bristol a couple years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing was spinning. That thing was like this close to put down a tornado.
It's got the land to touch down too, right? How is it like the track situated? Is it like very rural? I know it's rural from.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's some hills, but yeah, it's not. There's a whole lot of open area, so yeah, for sure.
What does rural mean?
It's like the opposite of urban.
Okay, what do hills have to do with it?
He was asking about the landscape.
The landscape series. That's an important factor right there. A nader, some of them come out and they'll do some damage.
You're the geek who wants to go and study tornadoes in Oklahoma.
I do want to do that. One of these years, I'm going to make it happen.
Well, this year you went to Wilkes-Stock, and I'm going to keep calling it Wilkes-Stock until it catches on or we get T-shirts about it. Wednesday was a blast. I mean, that was the funny thing is it felt like the revival a little bit, but not quite. In a way, not quite as big, but it definitely felt like it was building up to something. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, you had everybody there. Harvick and Junior were the kind of headliners, and I mean, dude, that car store race was a show.
Yeah,
them Cup guys, they couldn't hold a candle to them.
No,
I mean, Junior got into it. Ross about wrecked Junior. You know, we flipped Ross off a whole lot, so that was fun. We got mean mugged by a dude. He asked us. He's like, really? You paid $40 just to flip off Ross Chastain? I'm like, no, actually, sir, I paid nearly $500 to do that. And yeah, I mean,
Ross owes you for the other month.
Yeah, exactly. I still ain't giving him that fist bump neither.
He's crap.
That's what we need to do. We need to make shirts that say Ross Chastain owes me money, and just don't elaborate further. Just walk around with them.
Oh, just have sheet metal back of the shirt.
Yeah, I don't know. Wednesday was fun. That was I'll tell you what, sitting down there on the grid and watching Harvick, you know, people are taking pictures with him and doing the thing. That's when it hit me that like this is it. This is his last year. And like, you know, obviously I bought the merch and, you know, said all the things, but like, you know, it don't really hit. It hit right then, right in that moment. And I was like, I gotta walk away. I gotta go back to my seat. I gotta grab a beer and pretend like this didn't happen. And
I'm not ready to process this yet.
Where's Otis? I need a hug. Caleb, are you familiar with Otis?
Otis is the one in the overalls, right?
No, not the overall. He's got the Lou the Lizard tie.
Yeah. It's all over social media.
Yeah, that's my dad, apparently.
Now, is he as drunk in person as appears? Obviously, it's a facade for some.
No,
give me a number. How many beers you think he had Tuesday? That's when I saw him on Tuesday for the first time. He told me he had a certain amount of beers. How many do you think he had?
We'll go 35.
35. Okay, Seth.
Fuck, I heard the number, but I don't remember.
Okay, all right. You heard the number done. No, y'all are both wrong. From 4:30 or 5:30, we're unsure because he told two different people a different story. 56.
Uh,
Now,
On
if you
Tuesday.
think that's true, then I don't know. I mean,
No,
I mean,
that is a blood alcohol content of like mush.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah,
water.
they take whatever's in his bloodstream, and he's got an alcohol blood content of point 1 point something.
Yeah, I was about to say there's no 0 point anything. It's 1 point something.
Yeah.
Does he have a family, or is he's just riding solo?
Huh?
Is he riding solo? Was he like by himself the whole weekend?
Oh yeah, yeah. He said he asked his wife if he come to track. She's like, yeah, get the fuck out of the house. I talked to him Wednesday night, before he got cut, and he said he had 73 beers, and then someone tried to steal his hat. He had a foam lizard hat, Budweiser lizard hat, and he said somebody tried to take it and they cut him. I don't know if that was exactly true, but that's what he told me, and he's giving me no reason not to believe him.
Like I don't know. I've never really talked to the guy much. I just know that that didn't happen.
Even like
what didn't happen?
No one tried to steal his hat and cut him for it. There's no way. He
don't
fell
know,
out of the
man.
bathroom probably.
He's pride, dude. He was prideful about his Budweiser attire, his Louis the Lizard hat, his Louis the Lizard tie, and his Louis the Lizard shorts. That man, he came out the womb, no shirt, and he's like, that's the way I'm gonna stay. He's like, I'll put a tie on because I like to be formal, but I also like to party.
As is tradition.
Yeah. Shout out to Otis. He's an absolute hero. He's out there somewhere just floating around in the ether.
He probably drove home too. I give him that. This guy's a solid. I said he set fast times each night too, trying to get home.
He said that, no, dude. He definitely
he's gonna
be he's gonna be a responsible adult. He's like, you know what? I drove my ass here. I'm not gonna burden this establishment. I'm gonna drive home. But no, he definitely lives in that little dilapidated like hut, garage, whatever. It looked like a trailer that had been hit by the tornado that didn't form on Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure that's where Otis lives
or lived. I don't know if that. I think that's
come to think of it, I've seen Otis with one beer.
What do you mean?
Well, one beer. I swear to God.
It's not like he's got a cooler.
Yeah. I've seen him with a cooler. I think he had a cooler last year.
I don't think. Have you ever seen him in a concession?
Dude, I don't know. Have you? I don't know. If y'all saw, he could probably get 73 beers off of that grandstand. People love this man.
But have you ever seen him with a non-Budweiser?
Well, yeah, dude, he's like Jesus Christ. Instead of turning water into wine, he turns whatever beer into Budweiser.
It's fair.
He probably turned a couple sun drops into Budweiser, for being completely honest.
Be fucking hilarious. Hey, you want this Budweiser? It's green. I know, but it's Budweiser.
Hey, man.
That would be
Otis is my spirit animal and my dad, and we can't prove it otherwise.
I mean, we could, but that's a lot more effort than we really need to put into it.
Good luck getting him to agree to that.
Who does he
get him to agree to one of those? He's gonna have a whole list of them.
Who does he pledge his allegiance to? What driver?
God.
I'll tell you who he doesn't pledge his allegiance to. I'll tell you that off the camera. I think we know he's sitting over your shoulder. But you'll have that in big time stock car racing.
I mean, look, I think we could count on like one hand how many people didn't hate Bubba Wallace at North Wilkesboro. That's what it felt like anyway. It was
me, you, Mom, Ashley. That's about it.
Yeah, like everyone else seemed like could not. Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get there, or maybe we won't. I don't know.
It's yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah. We're gonna. I mean, your boy snuck up the show. There ain't nothing else to fucking talk about.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, we get to Friday. What did you think about the pit stop competition, Caleb?
Oh, I think it was good. It was You got to see some freshly paved asphalt and concrete get put to use. A little bit of nostalgia. I will say I still miss like the All-Star Challenge, like inside the dome, where you have one car versus the other. But it was refreshing. I think it really tested them out. I gotta give kudos to Ty Gibbs naming off his entire pit crew after his little run. A lot
That
of
was
people
cute.
were taken back from it, but the fact that he remembered that many names for such a young age, it baffles me. But overall, I think it was pretty good, little competition. Yeah, I still miss the old stuff. I'm old school. I like the strip going 1-on-1 versus another pit crew.
So he calls that old school, but before that, we had exactly what we had today at the other day at Rockingham.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess you were a young buck back then.
I was a young buck. I'm a kindred
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
woke NASCAR when NASCAR wasn't woke.
Ah, interesting. I don't know the logistics on that one exactly, but
Let's do some math on that one.
yeah, math ain't my strong suit. I don't know. I thought the pit crew competition was cool. I do wish we would have had a big screen, but it's in the works. It's in the works.
Just one.
Yeah, we did have
They just
one.
have the one at turn 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the one at turn 3. But yeah, that was the only. I thought the pit crew competition was cool. I like that. That is what determined the starting lineup. And I thought it was interesting how many pit crews screwed up.
Yeah.
It was literally you just had to have a clean stop and you're going to be in the top 5.
I mean, 100%. I mean, the two teams we really all kind of expected to be the top teams there were the 1 and the 5, and they both screwed the pooch. And what was fun about it was obviously it's going to be tight. The launch on the 99 is what made the difference between him winning and the 54 winning. So just goes to show everything in this sport is team oriented. Everybody wasn't sure about that before.
Yeah, I mean Daniel Suarez, man, he killed it, man. I mean he had a first for everything. He was the first Cup car on the track. He was the first one to wreck, and then he was the first in the pit crew challenge of the All Stars, and they won the heat race. And he was the first one to get passed for the lead.
And he was part of the first group in Cup to run rain tires on oval in a race.
No.
In a race.
I get in a race. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think testing counts. I don't think that counts in this one. It's artificial.
Did we not? Oh, I guess truck. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of Martinsville. Man, I don't know. Getting into the truck race. Why'd your boy come down here and just beat up on these truck guys? Like, it wasn't fair at all. Like, he shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what you want me to say about it. I didn't sign him up to do it.
It pisses me off because Alex Bowman was supposed to run the truck. And then I didn't realize that until after race, and I was happy for you. And I was like, wait, no, that was supposed to be Alex Bowman. Fuck.
Well, considering they were nowhere the first run, I don't know. No offense to Alex, but he's not Kyle Larson.
Fuck you, Seth.
I mean, who is though? Who is?
No. Anyway, yeah, truck race was it was a truck race. It was more tame than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot more tame than I thought it would be.
It reminded me of Mansfield. I don't know if you remember Mansfield, Ohio.
Yeah.
That's kind of gave a vibe, like just old, barely could fit everybody on the track. The horsepower, I guess it was there, but the top out speed at the end of straightaways, like you had to really conserve your tires in the corners.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, they were stopping in the middle.
Oh yeah.
It was like you could tell who was good and who was not. It was whoever could turn through the center and off and get on the apron coming off too and get the apron because it was paved. And the 7 was good and the 42 was good, but I mean, there wasn't really anybody touching the 7 once he got out front.
Yeah.
And Haley Deegan got gypped again. I think she
Wasn't it the other way around? Didn't she wreck the dog fuck out of Dean Thompson?
she did, and then somehow got the favor returned back to her. I don't know. She's always seems to be. I always say like 15th to 20th is like always a dog fight, and it's either you have really good.
That's almost being generous. That's almost like being a little bit too nice. It's a shit show back there.
It is. I mean, no one knows what they're doing. I think Thomas said it in the or Dean Thompson said it in his interview. He's just like, none of these people know what they're doing. And best way to put it is daddy's money. That's a ride. That's the
What
best.
the hell is
ride.
Dean Thompson? I don't know who Dean Thompson is, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's daddy's money or not, but
He probably is daddy's money. I don't know. But he's calling people out. He's like, these guys are in over their head. But I've heard that before. I mean, look at Natalie Decker. I mean, she was in this race, it would have been a different story too. I don't even think she would know.
Kyle Larson would have had a run for his money.
Natalie Decker is the physical embodiment of the caution clock.
Oh yeah.
God damn. Okay, anyway.
But I mean, hang on real quick. But like, I mean, we've been saying this about the truck series for years now, that it's everyone in the back half of the truck field doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And, you know, we got a bunch of guys who just drive around, act like jackasses. I mean, this isn't like a new complaint. I guess it's just more prevalent for the actual drivers to be making these complaints. But
yeah. And I will say this, because I'm a big Matt Crafton fan, right? He's been so quiet, like obviously the last couple years, but he's slowly been drifting from
That'll happen when you don't win.
It does, but now he's getting sucked into all that crap, and it sucks to see like a Thor Sport truck that's just so nostalgic on track, just to be sitting back there with like Timmy Hill and
whoa. Don't no, hold on.
Don't talk about the Intimidator
don't
like
talk
that.
Shit about the Intimidator.
Maybe his brother. Maybe his brother.
We're slaves for Timmy Hill on this podcast.
Okay. He gets sucked back there, and I mean, it just changes.
Shout out to Frankie.
That's his boy.
Yep. Timmy Hill, he wrecked a couple times though. He had a rough day.
Yeah.
Rough day at old Wilkesboro. But we're not a truck podcast. You know why? Because trucks kind of are just a damn disaster half the time. Even when they're not, they are.
It's like being in purgatory. You're just stuck and drunk on Friday nights every time you watch a truck race. No matter
I'll tell you what, the great part about it is we got a nice little rain because we were hot as shit during the truck race. We got a nice little rain shower, cooled us off right in time for cleared out some of the people that didn't know there were cup heats afterwards. And
somehow.
And then the cup heats happen and it's raining, but we started on time. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, Denny Hamel was talking about it on his podcast about how he's like, well, it wasn't really fair to the guys in the first heat because it was deemed wet. And, you know, we had to run rain tires. It's like, dude, it's a fucking all-star race. Yeah. Like, it doesn't, like, I mean, I get it, but it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, but it's not like the second heat was run. It was still on a drying track. Like it
was raining more in the second heat than it was the first one.
Yeah, but by then the main groove had gotten dry and they were still running on it, so it wasn't really taking water. But I mean, you couldn't explore it all in that second heat. So yeah, they got practice on dry conditions, but they couldn't go do anything. They probably couldn't get on the apron at all. They couldn't move over half a lane if they wanted to try it. So I feel like Denny, like, because it's not like the 5 was killing everybody in that heat, and then also the first run of the actual race. So I don't know how much difference that actually played. Denny made it sound like it was just the biggest difference in his podcast, but
and then the rain tire fall off. They've always had complaints about, and then obviously with this type of track with the older material, I don't know if it made it worse as the track started drying off. Do you guys see a difference, or do you know if there was a difference?
I thought the tire fall off. I mean, a lot of drivers are actually praising the tire fall off for the rain tires. And I mean, I was about half drunk when the when the cup heats were going on. But I remember it being. I don't remember the second one. I remember the first one more than the second one. And Suarez kind of ran away with it, but you could stay a lot closer in
Mhm.
in the wet than you could in the dry. And Denny explained this on his podcast, and he's uneducated about it, and he'll admit it. And I'm also uneducated about it, so I'm taking this from an uneducated person. But the reason for like you're able to be closer like in the rain and in the wet on a less of a contact patch than you are like during the actual all-star race on the slicks is because like there's like a built-in like saturation number in the tire compound. And basically once you if you're out front, you're getting all the downforce, and that's obviously pushing the car into the track, and you know that's that saturation number's met, I guess. Whereas if you're behind them, you are getting all the dirty air, your tires are chattering, and so you're not getting that, tires aren't into the track, and you're not gonna meet the number to have the grip that the guy in front of you is gonna have. And I guess when you have less of contact patch, that you know that doesn't matter as much, and you're able to stay closer to guys. That's why we saw like Logano able to hang on Suarez's bumper, and we saw probably more moves being made in the heat races than we did in the actual All-Star race.
Science.
Yeah,
Science, bitch.
science. But
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I love how you just fake quoted Breaking Bad and then went with Bill Nye the Science Guy. I think that's
Yeah.
interesting.
This is how you make meth. Bill Nye Science Guy.
Dude, that'd be a great Bill Nye the Science Guy episode. Let's be real here.
Dude, there's one time I was at work and we were real slow one day and we looked up how to make crack.
Did you use the company Wi-Fi?
Probably.
That'd have been fucking hilarious.
Outside. He's like, hey man, you want to teach us?
Yeah, I could have. Never mind. Anyway, back to science.
Ultimately,
yeah.
it was a little more competitive in the first heat, but it didn't feel that much different. Like I know Suarez was able to get past and then repass.
I think it would have made more of a difference on the longer run.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I think ultimately still it comes down to I don't think people realized what was going to happen when the cars were equal. Yeah, as equal as we've ever had them.
Mhm.
Like clearly
Yeah.
that's clearly like okay, so equal cars with fairly equal drivers. Well, guess what? You're going to end up with fairly equal racing, and that leads to it being very difficult to pass. And I know I'm not breaking any news to you guys, but it's just like people want things because they sound good on paper, and then they get them, and they're like, "Oh fuck, that's not what I wanted at all."
Yeah, I mean, I think the treaded tire. I mean, we've been talking about it for months that they're talking about doing that, and that would mimic extra horsepower per se, but I think it would have been interesting to see because I mean, yeah, the track was dry for the most part, but water, rain's still coming down. There's definitely the conditions are a little bit different than if it was completely dry out and we had rain tires on. And I would have liked to see that. Our Lord and Savior Chuck, he suggested that if the race sucked in the first half, slap rain tires on there for the second half. And I think it would have been. I think it was almost a missed opportunity. Like we've been talking about treaded tires, fucking throw them on there. It's the All-Star race. Who the fuck cares? Like,
I almost thought they were going to do it after that first stage.
yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, I don't. We'll get into more of that here once we get into the actual race part of it. But as far as the heats go, as far as the format goes in general, I really liked how they did it.
Yeah, honestly, it felt to me like an old school. Other than when we had the one halfway break, but it felt like a pretty old school, straightforward race, and that was fine by me. I'm biased. I had a lot of fun with it.
Well, I just mean like the entire like picker competition, the heat races, like just the whole week in general. And we'll get on more of this later. Was just it felt like a festival. Like, and I mean it was,
Yeah.
but it definitely had that feel to it. Um, anything about?
concerts too, right? You had some music. You had a
Oh
variety,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that here in a minute.
you know.
The actual race,
Was fantastic.
Caleb.
Yeah, at the Open, I think really set the pace going into it. Obviously, you kind of saw like people trying to win, obviously knowing money's on the line. But the actual race itself, I thought was pretty good. I mean, it went by really quick. I think the format
Yeah.
of it was better than inversing the field, flipping the field from last to first, like they've done in the past. And then obviously, we beat on stage racing so much all season long, and actually to get away from that was kind of cool. Obviously, after the competition yellow, I think overall it was just like an old school race, and it had that feeling to it. Where was the Quaker State car that won in the '90s, and Darrell Waltrip was supposed to win.
Fucking Brett Bodine.
Brett Bodine. So I mean, it had a similar feel to that, where you had Larson, which we have the tracking system to see the car actually lap half the field. It almost had a nostalgic feel to it, almost to that, to where we knew it was going to be the best car that won. So I think overall it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, it's any gripes to be had with the race are not the track's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to car and tire and all the stuff we've been talking about. But as far as like I said, as far as the format goes, I like the Open. I thought that was about the perfect length. You had a good amount of time in between the Open and the All-Star race. I thought the Open was entertaining. It was, Ty Gibbs and Michael McDowell got into it. Michael McDowell, can we set up a GoFundMe? Because apparently winning a Daytona 500 doesn't get you enough money to be able to pay a fine to go whoop Ty Gibbs' ass. So we're gonna put a GoFundMe in the bio down here, and you donate some money to Michael McDowell so he can go whoop Ty Gibbs' ass. Maybe Michael McDowell can actually fight somebody because Daniel Suarez sure showed his ass that one time. But
I don't think Ty would be interested in that fight.
I don't think Ty would be I mean, Ty, I don't know, man. It might be a fair fight if McDowell takes his helmet off and Ty doesn't, which both of them are bitches and neither one of them took their helmet off to fight anyway. Yeah.
I feel like if that were to happen, I think Michael McDowell would get an instigator penalty. I'm pretty sure because I don't.
Bro. We don't have those here.
We don't have those.
No,
we should.
No.
Isn't that what Bubba Wallace got in Vegas last year? He got an instigator penalty, and that's what NASCAR's upset about.
So anyway, Caleb, you think Michael McDowell could get Tigers?
Oh yeah, if you can give him an old, I think he can slap him one on the rear end.
Oh, whoa! We're going a different direction here.
It kind of looks like.
Do you have to pay extra for that?
Do what?
Do you have to pay extra for that?
Do. On his OnlyFans, I mean, I'm sure he's got the backing with Monster to make something happen. Yeah. But I honestly think I would be pretty nice. I don't know.
Is he even old enough to have an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's old enough to drive a cup car.
20 3/4.
20 and 3. He's still young enough to count in 3/4. So yeah, he's probably too young to.
He had some baby in his car. Was it last week? No, it was at Darlington, I think.
It was probably his twin.
Yeah, they're like, look, he's already in his car during the national anthem. It's like a little infant toddler.
Yeah, little 5-pound infant Ty Gibbs.
Still counting his baby cubes.
Yeah, just a little balled up fist. Can't even make a sound yet.
Y'all are trying to make Ty Gibbs sound way too impressive right now. If he's literally a toddler, he's really doing very well for himself.
I don't know, man. Michael McDowell wasn't too fucking impressed.
I mean, Michael McDowell has a tendency to not be fast enough and then be mad when people aren't,
I can't tell you a time where I've ever been impressed with Michael McDowell. So
You remind me of like a Ty Dillon out there, like on the back end when he knocked the wheels off the car and the car is just driving sideways. Just like he's like, I give no fucks. I'm just gonna, drive this thing out and maybe cause a couple fights. I don't give a shit.
Hey, that is NASCAR stage winner Ty Dillon you're talking about here, so show a little respect.
He looked like Lewis Hamilton that one day. Son of a bitch. Hey, who picked Josh Berry to win the Open?
All of us.
Okay, yeah. All of us did. Yeah. We all kind of knew Josh Berry was going to win the Open.
I thought he would run away with it more than he did. Like, it took...
Well, he could pass. He had to ride on fucking Michael McDickhead to hold up Tyrone Gibbons.
I mean, someone could pass just yesterday, so it's not like it was totally impossible.
All right. Yeah, well, he actually tried to pass and he ate the wall. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was about I wonder who would have gotten the fan vote if Noah would have not been able to finish on the lead lap.
Legit thought that was going to happen. They called it tractor tire moment for dirt car racing. He tried to look left or look right, and then he went left and didn't realize the wall was there.
Didn't you listen to Doc Hudson? You got to go right to go left.
Got to, Doc. Yeah. That fucking car.
No, I mean, obviously Noah gets into the All-Star Racers fan vote. I thought driver intros are cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like that reminded me of like vintage Charlotte Motor Speedway All-Star driver intros. I think you could go bigger, obviously, but still it was a step in the right direction to whatever the fuck Texas had last year.
Some of those crew guys got some fucking cannon arms. I mean, we almost caught a couple t-shirts up in
hey man, they could get over the fence at Charlotte. Yeah, they could definitely get over the fence at Wilkesboro.
Yeah, they got some fucking cannons.
I just miss Ryan Newman's Altel crew coming out with water guns and mullet wigs and jumping into the crowd. That's the All-Star I remember.
That needs to happen again.
Back in my day. By the way, why the fuck wasn't Ryan Newman in the All-Star race?
Because he's not full-time?
Yeah, that's the dumbest fucking thing. He won an All-Star race.
I think
he should be in it for life.
The only provisional you should have to be in the All-Star race for life if you want is if you're a Hall of Famer. I think
it's fair. If you won the damn All-Star race, you're an All-Star. Caleb, what do you think?
If he was in that race, I honestly think it would have been more entertaining.
Then we would have seen if Kyle Larson could actually pass people.
And Newman should be in a Rocket Man. That's that's my wife's driver. So
Ryan Newman's
her driver. Then
she got a thing for necks.
Hot dogs. I don't know what it is, but the damn Oscar Mayer wieners. They're A1.
That's fair.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself. Anyway, yeah, I thought Ryan Newman should have been an All-Star race. I think Kyle Larson's win is invalidated because he didn't have to pass Ryan Newman. So
see how fast that car was?
Yeah, I don't think he would have been able to get it around no neck.
I think he would have had no problem with it.
Okay.
Nobody was getting off turn 4 like Kyle Larson was.
Hey man, Daniel Suarez was getting off 2 and 4 until he got past, and he wasn't really going nowhere. But backwards.
I was about to say he ended up a half lap down at some point, so I don't know about all that.
Yeah, well, don't put that on him, man. Everybody was.
That's true. Yeah. So I guess we'll get into that. That was an absolute teabagging.
That's what you call an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Like if he would have not played the strategy, I mean, he played the strategy right when Ricky got turned. But if that thing would have gone green, he might have lapped the whole field. If he could have not had a stage caution.
Yeah. No, I mean, 100%. You could see him.
Then I would have been impressed.
Then you would have been impressed? Because he didn't lap the field in the last 100 laps. That's not enough.
Not enough, man. T-Rex would have done it.
T-Rex would have done it.
Probably. But at that point, he was probably just like, I'm just going to hang on here. Like, what's the point in trying to pass a bunch of people?
Actually, no. That's Kyle Larson is, you're full of shit. Larson's going.
That's not true because he even said, "I'm going to try and lap as many people as I can."
Yeah, did y'all see the dash cam with his it was sped up for like 50 laps from his
Yeah.
penalty? It looked like easy mode NASCAR EA Sports 2002, just outside, just flying past everybody. Like, who the hell is this guy?
He looked like Ross when he did the Hail Melon. That's how much quicker he was.
Oh, it was just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I said that to
Take a
Buddy.
look at what he did.
I looked at Buddy at some point and I said, he needs to turn the difficulty up. This is not fair.
I know, yeah. Dude, I mean, you know, that's the thing. Is a lot of people were talking about how lackluster the race was. And yes, it was. It definitely was. And, you know, it's mostly due to the car. And the fact that the car can't perform on short tracks right now. And also one groove tracks. Which, you know, turned, I guess it was 3 and 4. The fact that they had a little bit of fresh asphalt, everybody was clinging to that. And then turn 1 and 2, you could hook it off of 2. But, you know, it's one of those things that some people might not appreciate now, but it better be something somebody appreciates, you know, down the road, because it is our T-Rex, our generation's T-Rex. That's what that was. I mean, he kicked everyone's ass. And you know what? Yeah, I guarantee you put anybody else in that car, they would have won. But that's the greatest race car driver in the world right now, and he just showed it. I don't give a damn if it's an all-star race or not.
Well, I mean, there's a reason he's got 3 All-Star wins at 3 different tracks. That's not a coincidence.
Look, them other 2 are kind of invalidated.
How?
I just wanted to say that.
3 different tracks, 2 different teams, and one of them was Ganassi. So
yeah, but also one of them was Texas.
That is true. But he did have he was the only guy that made an outside pass all day that night.
Was it on Chase or Brad?
Brad.
It was on Brad? Would have
Yeah.
been cooler if it was on Chase.
Yeah, unfortunately Chase was never really in front of him that year, so.
Yeah, fuck Chase Elliott. Anyway, Caleb, do you remember T-Rex?
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
You're like 8 or 10, 20 years older than me.
Oh, hell no. I was like, what year was it?
97.
I was 2. I was 2.
That's enough to fully remember the
I
event,
kind of
right?
remember it. Everybody had the die casts, and it just how illegal.
Seth has about 7 of them.
I have 3 of them. Thank you very much.
Seth's got like a some sort of attraction or affliction or affinity. That's the word to T-Rexes. Yeah.
I got that exact T-Rex.
Seth, are you wearing your NRA hoodie with your Kyle Larson hat?
Look, I haven't.
That's very Bubba Wallace hater of you.
It's not. I just have not had the opportunity to do laundry, and this is the only hoodie that is not dirty. So someone occupied my living room all week.
I was about to say I appreciate you letting me live in your house for a couple of days.
Yeah. No, y'all fit right in. It was as messy when y'all got there as it was before y'all got there.
Dude, Caleb, his place is like the bachelor pad for hell. Like, we had an air mattress. I slept on the floor. There was a perfectly good ottoman that I could have slept on, but it had every piece of clothing Seth Dolby owns on top of it. So, there ain't no bugs in that house. That boy makes sure he kills all them bugs. That's for damn sure. He'll get his panties in a bunch if there's some bugs around. But
well, okay, like literally. So the Sunday of Darlington, I'm leaving the house, and I open the door. And there's a fucking centipede crawls across. It might have come from outside because I did not see where it could have come from. But still, a fucking centipede. Right. I had to kill this thing. Look, that's terrifying. That's terrifying.
It's a centipede.
They're terrifying.
Dude, they're like that big. It's not.
It was that fucking big. What are you talking about? It was huge. Don't tell me that's big now. It was big. That's a big bug.
Starship Trooper fat.
It's a good thing.
You need glasses.
I killed it. If I had a gun nearby, I would have shot it and had to explain why there's a bullet hole in the floor.
Karen was pissed.
Yeah, she would have.
Anyway, um, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I don't know. I mean, Kyle Larson won the damn thing.
Yes.
There are lots of Scott Bloomquist memes out there of that. And it was disappointing. Kevin Harvick gave the old community college try in the 29 car.
I guess. I'm shocked they were nowhere.
I think a lot of it had to do with it seemed like there were 3 phases of tire fall off. They're good when you got them on there, and then everyone falls off at the same pace. And then at the very end of that 100-lap run, you could kind of see Bubba Wallace. I think
he was catching Kyle a little bit at the end.
Yeah, I think if that race would have run green, I think Bubba Wallace probably wins the race because he was catching them at the end of the first stage and just a little bit at the end of the second stage.
It would have been really interesting. Without that break, whether or not what would have been really interesting about it would have been whether or not guys would have decided to try and pit and use fresh tires to make up the difference. Because
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think it could have worked.
Yeah, I mean it works at Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw how well the 5 moved through the field. Obviously, everyone else who pitted didn't quite move through the field that well, but didn't. Oh yeah, Bubba pitted on that. No, he didn't. Bubba did not pit on. I don't remember.
I don't.
There's somebody else, but he had like a 17 lap advantage, I think, at one point, to where I knew, like, it was just yeah. And then, like you said, there was just not enough time to make a strategy and not enough cautions to put yourself ahead or even with Larson. Just fast on them tires.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I would have liked to see that if someone could have stayed out if there was caution for like 10 to go or whatever. And see if someone could have stayed out and if they got a couple people to stay out with them, been able to hold them off for at least. Also,
as cool as it would have been. So there's it's kind of twofold for me because I would have enjoyed to see whether or not they decided to pit, and obviously there would have been a risk involved in doing that. But also I kind of like the whole 2 just 100-lap segments, just run them straight up and just see who outruns whoever. I thought that has merit to me.
If we can get the fall off differential to kick in sooner, 200-lap.
Or just run a full-length race with no stages. That'd be like paying homage to like old school.
That's my favorite word, homage.
Yeah. Homage. You put some homage into it. And then drop the green flag, let them run it just one time. It'll test the endurance of the driver, the equipment of the vehicle, and then obviously the pit crews and strategy. I think it'll just give it one opportunity to see what would happen from lap 1 to lap 400.
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR Kazim, he brought up a good point. We should just run 600 at Wilkesboro, 960 laps. Let's go.
I said that.
Oh, really?
I said that.
I saw NASCAR Chasm say that too.
I said that, like, I don't remember if I said that during the race or before the race or something, but I definitely said that. 960 laps, Jesus.
Yeah. No, I think you're on to something, Caleb. We can run the All-Star race here next year, and then by that point, we'll finally talk NASCAR into having no stage cautions at ovals, and then we'll just have a 400-lap race, and we'll probably see the greatest race we've seen in NASCAR in however many years.
Well, I'd like to go and
but then they're going to repave it. So
yeah, unfortunately.
Suck.
I want to go and bring that up though, because I told you and you agreed. I think this would have been.
I was drunk.
That's true. I think this would have been this track would be absolutely fantastic, even as is with a full field, because
100%.
Yeah, because the amount of traffic you'd have would kind of negate some of, like, there wouldn't really be clean air for the leader, like hardly ever, really. And then you'd end up burning your stuff up more because there's more traffic. The tire fall off would probably be quicker.
Here's the only thing I think about the clean air thing, the no clean air for the leader, is we see it at Bristol too, and you couldn't pass at Bristol
That's true.
because even if the leader's in dirty air, the guy behind him's in worse dirty air, or at least the same, and they're so I don't know that really would work.
The difference
that
between
would be, but I'm just saying that I don't think that would be the reasoning. It would be better. We saw a great race at Richmond this year, and I thought both the races at Richmond last year were great, just for the simple strategy element of it. And I think this race, it would have been perfect if we didn't have a stage in the middle and we just let it run through. And if someone would have hopped strategy and tried to come in a pit, it would have been amazing to see him try to run down Kyle Larson.
Yeah. I think the
ifs,
only
ands, and buts or something about candies and candy. Was it
Nuts.
candy and nuts? Yeah, that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I just think
I was thinking that the Earnhardt saying, something about what is it? Something about biting your candy ass.
I don't know. It's not
There's
good to
no
start.
Earnhardt soon.
It's not good to start.
Watching.
Huh?
Which one was that?
I don't know. I'll look up the quote later.
I was about to say it's not good to quote something and then go, "Wait a minute, how's this go?"
Well, look.
But anyway, yeah, Buddy can quote that front to back. But
Yep.
the difference, I think, if we had the full field, and obviously, yeah, passing has been a premium at Martinsville and it's been a premium at Bristol. I think the difference is the straightaways are so long and the breaking point is so low at Martinsville. And then at Bristol, that thing we've been able to keep it wound up so much with this car. At Bristol,
I found the quote.
Okay, I'm going to finish this first because you never stop talking. The difference is the breaking point at Wilkesboro is so much wider. I mean, they were letting off right around the start-finish line. That's a large braking zone to have an opportunity. I feel like with that added traffic and that braking zone, I feel like it would lend itself to a more competitive full field points race.
Yeah, I think it boils down to I believe everything Denny Hamlin says is gospel unless it comes to like relationship advice or like anything other than racing. And if he says it's solely the tires, I believe it.
Oh, that's he changed his tune then because that's exactly the opposite of what he said a week.
Well, he said he said after that press conference. Remember we talked to Peter Stroud and Noah Lewis. And they had the press conference with Goodyear.
I know. I'm just saying, Denny changes his mind on a whim.
Well, I changed my mind on a whim after I hear some more educated people talk about a certain subject. And then I'm like, okay, now I know more. Now I can change my opinion to formulate a better understanding.
Look, I don't think that's wrong. And I mean, we've been saying this the whole time about the tires. So I don't think this isn't like breaking news that the tires are too hard and there's too much contact patch and they don't fall off, which is directly related to them being too hard.
Well, I thought he brought up a good point as far as they fall off, but everybody falls off at the same pace. And it's that very end of the run where, the actual gradual, the guys who can save tire where that kicks in.
What would Tony Stewart say? That's the real question.
He said Goodyear can't build a tire worth of shit. There's a reason they exited out of the IRL. They exited out of Formula
And Earnhardt said, I think they ought to tie kerosene rags around their ankles so the ants don't crawl up and bite their candy ass.
What was that in relation to?
I don't remember what it was in relation to. Well, hold on.
No, he said, don't sit in Teflon.
That would probably keep the ants away too.
That's why he didn't like Jeff Gordon. No, he liked Jeff Gordon fine.
Yeah.
Rainbow.
Anyway, other than that, that's all I got for the race.
It's good stuff.
Kyle Larson is
Don't put dirt on it, as Hamlin said.
Yeah, don't put dirt on it.
But do put dirt on it.
Repave it with no, what? stupid. Yeah, we haven't gotten a good stupid in a while, and that was one right there. No, if they are gonna repave it with some like rocks and like sandpaper.
Let's just do a sand track.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna work, Seth. But yeah, no, I mean not Jimmy Johnson. Kyle Larson is reminding me of Jimmy Johnson. I'm getting big Jimmy Johnson vibes.
I'm not gonna comment.
Okay, Caleb, what do you think?
He's what do they call him? He's like a very particular speaker. Like he's very calm. I don't know. He's a professional at what he does. I think matching them is like apples to oranges in a way, but at the same time, I think he's unique in his own way.
Well, I'll tell you how they're similar.
They win all the damn time.
Yeah, I'm getting fucking sick of it.
Well, they're very different because Jimmy didn't historically win in every type of car he ever, or not every type of. Jimmy did not drive as many cars as Kyle did and win all the time like Kyle does. So they're different now.
Yeah, well, when I'm at the track and he's won 5 times and it's only May, yeah, it's giving me big Jimmy Johnson 2000 something vibes at Charlotte. So
feel it coming on.
Yeah. It's getting real fucking annoying. Like I was cool with it at Richmond and Martinsville. I was cool with it at Darlington. That was great. Well, truck race, I was like, okay, all right. I mean, that's cool for my buddy. They won the cup race, and I was like, okay. I looked at Mom. I said, yeah, I like Seth, but I'm kind of over this fucking guy.
I mean, that's totally fair. Like I said, I'm sure y'all aren't having very fun with it, but this is great. I've never had more fun going to the racetrack.
Yeah. Well, me and Caleb have a great time at the racetrack, regardless.
Yeah, a fun time. I'll tell you what.
I have a fun time at the racetrack no matter what, but going there and being like, yeah, Kyle has like a 50% chance of winning this race. That's far more fun than the other way.
I got a point to bring up. I literally last night, Haley and I were watching the race, and we saw Kyle Larson. It cut off on Fox News, or on Fox. It cut off. I didn't go there. Larson went to go catch a twisted tea from a fan that was hanging off the side of the fence. A little bit. The guy had no shirt on.
It was not me. I was trying to grab a beer, but someone beat me to it.
Yeah, he threw that one down, and he's like looking at the can like in disbelief. He's like, a fucking twisted tea.
I know, they couldn't have given him a real beer.
Kyle didn't even like beer.
I guess he wanted a shot. I don't know if he was giving it to what's her name? Caitlin, yeah.
Someone else gave Caitlin a Coors, so that worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Shotgun Sweetie. I'll tell you what, man, I had a Bojangles hard tea this weekend.
They're pretty good.
Way better than twisted tea.
Really, I didn't like it at all. Of course, I didn't love twisted tea, but I don't have that reaction to it.
Yeah, and most of your opinions suck anyway. So
how do they? Sorry to burden you with my shitty opinions.
Yeah, dude, it's really. I mean, that's why I keep it around, man. The mountains are blue, and so are your takes.
My hat's blue. I know that for a fact. But said my hat's blue. That I know.
Your hat's white.
My hat has blue on it.
It's a white hat.
I usually wear a blue hat.
All right, so Bubba Wallace. He flipped off the camera, and apparently that's a problem now. Because as far as history tells me, that's the rite of passage to become the most popular drivers to flip throw the bird up on national TV.
So I obviously don't have a problem with it. I mean, he did it on cable TV, so I don't feel like there should be any issue with it whatsoever. But I mean, there is a little bit of a difference to flipping off a driver on the racetrack and the TV catches it and being interviewed.
Yeah.
And flipping off someone in the background. Like, obviously, I don't care. Like, I say shit, fuck Jeffrey Earnhardt and I flip people off all the time. I don't give a damn. And
I got told
realistically,
today. I got told today. I think my hands are stuck like that.
You paid for a ticket to do that the whole race.
Damn right I did.
true. That's true.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
paid
we
damn near
don't care.
$500 for that damn ticket. I gotta. God, Ross Chastain got like 12 birds at once, just right in a row. I hope he saw it.
I hope he did too.
Like
Yeah.
this. His eyes.
Trevor saw it. his lizard eyes. Like,
Bob, do watermelons have lights?
do watermelons have lights? But no, I'm back to the Bubba thing. I don't know, man.
So did somebody hack his headset, or was that like a whole conspiracy thing?
Oh God, yeah. Like, what the fuck was that? Yeah, someone got in his damn radio.
I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it before. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen, but like,
yeah,
man, I don't know. Like, people, obviously, we know why people don't like them, and it's not a good reason. As to why, because they don't know the facts about the whole situation. And if you don't know what situation we're talking about, you're living under a rock. But and then people talk about, he's a crybaby and he's just a pouty and he's moody. I mean, dude, we know most of the people hating on him probably don't believe in mental health, but he's obviously has some of that. But also, dude, if you got booed and booed and booed and told how much you suck every single day by thousands of people, wouldn't you be a little bit of a fucking asshole too? Yeah. Wouldn't you kind of just be over it? Like, dude, give the kid a break. Like, god damn, I don't know. It's just pissing me off, man. It just Seth, it disgusts the hell out of me, listening to driver intros, because the dude ain't done nothing to nobody. Like, I mean, he wrecked a dog fuck out of car, or tried to fight Kyle Larson after Larson wrecked him. My bad. Sorry. But I don't know, man. Or no, yeah, he did wreck Kyle. I'm stupid. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you were taking the piss. I was gonna say
no. Yeah, he wrecked the dog fuck out of Kyle, but I don't know, man. It's just this whole everything he does gets blown out of proportion. And if you listen to any interview he had this week, it was the best. It was some of the best Bubba Wallace I've seen in the past couple of years. They asked him, they were egging him on, trying to get him to say how much the booze bothered him. And he's like, I mean, yeah, it bothers you. It's going to bother anyone, but what are you going to do about it? I made a paycheck. I'm a race car driver and they're not.
I mean, that's the only thing Bubba can do at this point is just
win.
Well, win and run like he has been, which is consistently well.
Yeah.
And
you count the All-Star race, 6 out of the last 7, he's top 5.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But no, Bubba Wallace sucks, dude. He's terrible.
I don't know. I mean, it's unfortunately just a lost cause, and unfortunately part of the culture here.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate, and it's going to take a long time to get that out. And I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I'd love to keep trying, I guess.
You're racing at Bowman Gray by the time that gets resolved.
Oh hell!
Oh boy!
God bless.
Who was telling me yes? Oh fucking Jordan Bianchi told me that yesterday. He's like, "Oh,
Dude, no, hold up. Yeah, let's talk about that. So Seth, you went up and talked to Jordan Bianchi.
I did
yesterday. Yeah. What did you ask him, and what did he say?
Yeah, so I kind of figured I knew the answer going in, but I wanted to hear him say it. I wanted to know why he thought we needed 2 races at Daytona and Talladega and only 1 at a track like Darlington. And essentially the answer came down to that's what the casuals like. It gets people talking. The racing is close. I wasn't going to get into a close racing versus good racing argument with Jordan.
Oh, that would have been the first thing I said. That's why I walked away.
I just wanted
to Peter Strada, hey, let me borrow your mic stand in case I got to beat Jordan Bianchi off of Seth when he asked a dumb question.
I wanted to hear it because it's like, I guess I'm getting sick of. So I've listened to the Teardown. I've listened to Action Detrimental. Action Detrimental is like the most pro racing, I guess I'll put it, out of those. DBC is always talking about. I mean, today it was like, oh, we need more cautions. We need more this. We need more racking them up. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, can we not just appreciate, an actual race Like, I don't know if people realize this, but in a race, typically the fastest guy is going to be in front. He's going to be faster than the guy in second, so he's going to get away from him. And the guy in second is going to be faster than the guy in third, so he's going to get away from him a bit. That's just kind of the nature of auto racing. And I know I'm not telling you guys anything new.
I'll tell you what, Seth. You're not wrong, but if we didn't have these, meaningless arguments about, how to make the racing better and why we don't have, this, that, and the third every week, we'd be out of a job.
Well, we both have real jobs, so I mean, it wouldn't be detrimental to our.
I think this is it.
Yeah,
this is it.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast wouldn't survive if the racing was a barn burn every week.
I guess
it would have.
It would have been fine. I mean, we had over the past 12 months.
But no, anyway, you didn't. So, what was his answer?
His answer was because that's what the casuals like, and it's exciting, and it gets people talking. That was the answer, and I understood that was the answer. And it's like, I guess I'm just. And he mentioned scarcity, and I wasn't going to get into him with that. 6 speedway races a year is not scarcity anymore. Like, I'm sorry, that's just too much. But if it was still down at 4, I could kind of see the argument. But it's just not anymore. I get it.
That's the thing. Well, if he wants to talk about scarcity, I mean, Darlington's the most unique track on the circuit.
Yeah. Like, and also it's just, I don't know. I think we need more of that. I think if you tune in to watch a race like Darlington, if we can get it fixed, it's not great right now. But if we can make it back the way it used to be, which it was after 30 laps in a run, so we're closer than we were. But I don't know. I think that's the kind of thing that's going to stick with people more.
It comes down to the championship finale argument. The championship, the Final Four deal is not as exciting as it's played up to be because we know it's going to be a Game 7 moment.
Yeah.
Which defeats the purpose of a Game 7 moment and what the allure of that is. And if we just had racing like we had at North Wilkesboro, which for a racing purist was probably fantastic. And if we had a full length race there, it would have been awesome. And then you occasionally have the barn burners and that's how you have classics. I mean, how many unbelievable races have we been to in our lives, Seth? So many unbelievable. Yeah. And how many of them do we remember off the top of my head?
I mean, do you want to list them? I can go.
No, I mean, I'm just saying I forget about a lot of these great races we have because we do have a lot of great races, but also some of those races. It's how do I put this?
You can't have too much of a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I was in Chicagoland for the Kyle Larson incident on the final lap.
Mm-hmm.
And I even remember leaving that race compared to like you said, a race that was just a plain butt whooping. I still left with the feeling of it wasn't finished. And it was almost comparative on both sides where it's you still don't feel full of what you've seen. So comparatively, you still need that diversity where you have close finishes and then ones that are just complete annihilation from the leader. But I could say even leaving that race, I was I'm just not settled yet. I feel like there could have been, something different that happened at the end, or everybody's going to complain about it regardless. But having the variety is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's it's more of, I think, more people, instead of appreciating when something like a absolute classic finish or race in general happens, instead of appreciating it, it's more of we wonder why it doesn't happen every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's something people need to realize, because I think we saw something special with this Wilkesboro All-Star race, aside from the racing, but then also I think it's going to be something we look back on and it's damn, holy shit, we were there the night Kyle Larson took him behind the woodshed, no lube.
Yeah. But I mean, you bring up the championship. So literally the perfect example for that is going to be, I mean, how many times do we bring up the 1992 Hooters 500 and how many times do we bring up the 2011 Ford EcoBoost 400? Like, we bring those up all the time because they're absolute classics. They're absolute classics because they happen in the chase format, the one, but relatively naturally for both of them. Obviously, the first one was totally naturally, but it's so much more memorable when that happens like that instead of forcing it. Yeah, and it feels like even week to week now, we're just forcing it all the time, and it's kind of why I get upset when we don't. It feels like we don't have enough horsepower at some of these tracks, and that's what's bringing the cars together closer, and everyone thinks it's great, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? I don't know if we're really going to remember that as much as we remember, say, the Chicagoland race or any number of.
Did it feel like, especially with the last few weeks, or at least this past season, did it feel like there was a caution coming at some point in that final 10 laps?
Every week.
It almost felt like that was going to happen in this case. Like, whether it was a piece of debris, I think Clint Boyer said something.
Brad Keselowski almost spun out off of turn 4 3 or 4 times. And people were. It was, if that race would have, I don't think we would have gone 15 more laps without caution. Because it was finally like lap 80 in that final segment, lap 180 in the entirety. Guys, you could tell who was falling off, and someone was gonna bust their ass if we kept going. So you're definitely right in that.
Felt something coming.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm the only one who did not feel like a caution was coming out yesterday. So I thought,
because you were focused on the 5 car, I was looking for one and I kept seeing them.
So I was watching in the infield. Harrison Burton was putting his helmet on and getting ready to roll out. And like, dude, you're not running with them. And he was going to take a lap just real quick, fill it out.
Hey, man, you see that shit Todd did at Phoenix?
Todd?
Or not Todd, Harrison did at Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's going to replicate that. He's like, this is just such a clean race.
Well, yeah, he promised me he would. Harvick was a lap down. Kevin needed a caution. No, so I saw Harrison Burton this weekend. And I was wearing my Kevin Harvick shirt. Him and Ty Gillen were walking through the midway, and I saw Harrison. And Seth can say what he said to Todd here in a minute if he wants to. That's something special and personal between him and Todd. But anyway, I yelled at Harrison, "Hey, Harrison, I saw that shit you did at Phoenix." Because that's the joke on the podcast, is every time Harrison Burton's name get brought up, y'all see that shit he did at Phoenix when he cost Kevin Harvick the win. I didn't even get that sentence out of my mouth and Harrison was already run over. Dude, I am so sorry. I was wearing a Harvick shirt, obviously. He's like, "I'm so sorry, dude. I texted Kevin after the race. I was like, dude, I can't believe I fucking did that." Whatever. Gives me a big old hug. I'm like, "It's okay, Harrison. It's okay. Just fucking spin out when Kevin needs it next time." He said, "I'll make it up to you. I promise."
You have him shaving points. He's like, "All right, is your elbow itching?" "Yeah, I'm gonna."
Or you got to scratch it. Yeah, I should have told him that. I should have been like, "Look, man, your elbow's gonna itch."
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was.
Maybe if I hadn't sexually harassed Todd Gilliland at the same exact moment,
it would have been a little bit. Yeah.
No, so we look up. This is after Kyle won the truck race.
He's hammered.
I was in it to win it.
3 sheets of the win fucked up.
I was in it to win it. And there's no point in being in it if you're not going to win it. And who was it? Someone goes, "Oh, that's Harrison Burton. Oh, and that's Todd Gilliland." And they start walking by, and I just yell, "Todd, you're hot as fuck." And he looked through my soul, like all the way through me. And I'm like,
you turned around like Chase Elliott turned around and looked at you when you told him to eat a bag of dicks in Atlanta. Dude, you bamboozled this man. Like, he wishes you would have stayed in your motorhome.
Got like a restraint on you.
Oh, dude, his girlfriend was pissed. She was like, "Who?" So, yeah, I don't
What made
know,
you say that?
huh?
What,
What?
like of all things, why that?
So we were putting together the our like bandwagoners guide
Bandwagoners guide, yeah,
to the Daytona 500 last year, and Buddy had made all these cards with all the drivers' faces and cars on them, and we got to Todd Gilliland. Where Buddy goes, "Man, Todd Gilliland's handsome." I said, "No, man, put some respect on. He's hot as fuck," and it just kind of
kind of
started
became a
from
joke.
there.
Yep,
Yeah, and it would just all the time, like, man, Todd Gilliland is hot as fuck, dude. So
we got T-shirts coming, y'all.
we're gonna have to now. So I just see, and by the way, Buddy last year told Ryan Blaney he was hot as fuck or sexy or
I
whatever. So
did,
it's
I
not
did.
like this is uncharted
I
territory
got a
for
much
us.
better, I got a much better reaction from Ryan Blaney when I told him that though.
Ryan is
He,
much more comfortable being hot than Todd is, but
yeah,
man's is good looking, and he needed to know it. And I really hope he holds that over his girlfriend's head forever now.
yeah. I think, yeah, you might have ruined a relationship there, Seth. Um,
I will apologize to
Then you
Todd.
hit him in the DMs.
yeah,
That's when you really throw him off. Hit him in the
that's
DMs.
fine. I got me a bromance going on with Harrison. That's my buddy now.
I just
Yeah.
want it'd be funny to see Todd again, and he'd be like, "Oh God, not you again."
No, please don't. Um, anyway,
Hey,
the weekend in general, Seth, like
surreal.
thoughts. Yeah,
Just genuinely surreal. Like you get there, so we get there the first time, and like we've been there for late model races before, but it just
yeah.
feels different. Like I don't
Like
know,
I
like
said, it felt like it was
everybody in their
building up to something.
yeah, it felt like everybody and their brother like had entered the race. It felt like it was
Mhm.
like or one of them. Just the energy around the area was unmatched. I hadn't gone to the Dale Jr. race last year, so probably about the same as that, I would imagine,
Yeah.
or a
It
little less. But
Guy named Butterbean wins. I mean, this is great. This is
Hey, Butterbean. Yeah, we saw him after race too.
yep,
Butterbean.
Yeah, Butterbean won. Bubba Pollard won. Obviously, short track legend. That was cool. It was just, man, it felt like everybody talks about Formula One. We need to, kind of mimic that because they have a whole like festival or event feel. This was every bit of that for NASCAR. Like if we had 4 or 5 of these a year, like these type of, where we have late model races, we have a full weekend of cup qualifying, we have trucks, we need to get Xfinity there. If we had that, 5 or 6 times a year, and then, you build up, your other races too with, maybe you gotta save some for your all stars, your 600s, your Daytona 500s. You gotta have those be bigger and better. But at every race, do a little bit of Wilkesboro, dude. Anyone complaining about the ticket prices, you got they were $369, and you got so much for your money. Like, I mean, you got so much racing,
yeah.
like thousands and thousands of laps of racing for that money. And also, you got cheap ass beer.
it definitely wasn't thousands and thousands of laps, but
I mean, I think it was. I mean,
if you're counting practice, then maybe, but
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
okay, that's not racing anyway.
Anyway, so you got cheap beer. You got hot dogs. There were too many people there, so you couldn't hear Seth say his dumb takes. And like the traffic flow, like the traffic was not an issue at all. Like Marcus had shuttles taking everybody to the track that ran like clockwork. Like everything went flawlessly. Like as good as the only thing that didn't go flawlessly was literally like if you didn't appreciate what we saw on the racetrack for whatever reason, then that's your only gripe you could possibly have with this. This is Winston was back this weekend. Like, I mean, it was Marcus Smith. I mean, that whole team, they did a incredible job with everything. Like it was everybody was so gracious. Everybody you talked to was just the nicest person they could be, except for that Ross Chastain fan on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever that was, but fuck him. You had a concert, I mean, Steph, you don't like Dierks Bentley, but that was fun sitting out there in the field listening, music. That looked like I look like
I hate
Woodstock.
that guy
Dierks Bentley.
Yeah. He didn't take a photo of me one time out in public. Another story.
Another story for another. We'll talk about that during Nashville weekend. But yeah, I mean, it was just it was like I said, I was calling it Wilkes-Stock the entire, ever since they said this was going to be a thing, and it felt every bit. I didn't obviously go to Woodstock, in whatever it was, the 70s. When was Wilkes-Stock?
There's one,
Woodstock. There's one in 99.
Yeah.
99 that was crap. Because what I was gonna say was I really thought the track was gonna end up like Kentucky in 2011 with the traffic. Just based on
No.
how it is off the interstate and everything. So I'm surprised when you say that how efficient everything ran. Everybody got to attend the race.
Yeah, everybody got to attend the race. It's just, man, dude, I mean, like you were talking about, the atmosphere of it all was just unbelievable. Everyone in that place was just happy to be there.
Yeah, and I mean,
you could tell.
Yeah. To piggyback off the traffic comment, it felt like just every single aspect of this was just so well thought out.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, the traffic, obviously, man, they thought that all the way through and nailed it. Absolutely fucking nailed it. Getting into the track, they tried their best, because people don't really read what gate they're supposed to be at, but they tried to distribute everyone based off gate. And even then, even then it was easy getting in. It wasn't like Nashville.
Oh God, no.
So it was easy getting in. It was easy getting out. You walk back your bus right on time. That's the same traffic issue. We didn't have any problem with running out of concessions. That was not an issue. Bathrooms,
only thing that ran out. Oh yeah, porta potties were like clean as fuck all weekend.
Porta johns were clean.
The only thing that
stationary bathrooms inside were really
great.
nice.
Only thing that ran out was souvenirs. They ran out of souvenirs.
Yeah.
And if you don't realize, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
They ran out. They sold out of every Kevin Harvick 29 t-shirt they had. And when you walk past it, we first got to the track on Sunday. We walked past the SMI All-Star trailer. They're basically sold out of every t-shirt they had.
They had programs and seat covers left.
Because everybody wanted a piece of this weekend, and it was amazing. And if you hold the opinion that, there were only 30,000 people there, and if 30,000 people showed up to Texas, it'd be, we talk about how empty it was. Well, if All-Star tickets for Texas were $300, nobody would have showed the fuck up.
Yeah. If you gave away all the tickets for Texas, I don't think you'd fill it up.
No, exactly. Yeah, Texas fucking sucks.
Can you bring your own cooler in? Can you bring
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
That's even
cooler backpack. Yeah, we brought in 3 coolers, 2 coolers, 3. I don't remember. Yeah, like I mean, like I said, no complaints at all. It was almost incredible how smoothly that went.
Yeah, how they can run this event so smoothly with none of the available space for parking and just such a smaller area, and find a way to not do very well at a track like Nashville. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was Nashville. It's
terrible.
We were all there. We were all there in Nashville last year.
Yeah.
We survived NASCAR.
That is what it felt like.
But yeah, just a big shout out to Marcus Smith and Dale Jr. for kind of spearheading this whole deal, but Marcus for putting everything in place. Shout out to Graham Smith, Marcus's son. Nicest dude in the fucking world. Like, I mean, walking around all weekend, shaking hands, kissing babies, and when Marcus walked up into the grandstands when he was after the pre-race ceremonies, the whole place went nuts. They were chanting Marcus, Marcus. He's the king.
Apparently, God, I didn't realize that.
Him and Otis are kings.
I'd have never thought the crowd would start chanting for Marcus Smith, and that just kind of, I think it just shows you how well the event went that that happened. Yeah.
So I think as well as it went, I think we'll probably be back. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And Caleb, you gotta come next year.
Oh yeah, it's on
Don't be a poo-poo pants.
I can't be a
Poopy pants.
Phoenix though this year though, you'll be out here.
Yeah. We're going to have a good old time out there in Phoenix. I'm drinking a lot of beer, shed a lot of tears. Shed a lot of tears this weekend, man. Seeing that 29 car back on track. That
thing looked cool as fuck.
That was yeah. I got to meet Kevin. That was special.
You got my car signed for me. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else about Wilkesboro?
I've exhausted it.
Yeah. Great job. Great. I mean, fun race. I mean, the race, as I said it the other week, it's like the racing product isn't always indicative of how great of a race it was when you're at the track. And I think that's this in its, every aspect.
Yeah.
It ain't like we said, it ain't the track's fault.
Yep.
It's the car's fault. Track was awesome. The whole event was awesome.
100%. 100% agreed.
Yep. All right. Sundress dumbass.
All right. I guess I'll go first. I went with Sundress. I went with Rodney Sandstorm just because it was fun for him to be there.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a little bit off the beaten path, but still. Ran 20th, finished first car 1 lap down, his first late model race, first oval race.
Period, yeah.
So hats off to him. He did good. I never thought for a second he was gonna biff it and look like an idiot. So he did good.
Caleb.
I don't know. This one's a tough one. Just gotta give it to the boy Newman. Newman's where it's at. Like Newman, hot dog man.
What'd he do?
Did some great things this weekend. I hope he continues racing, but it was just refreshing to see him in the All-Star race. He's
in the open.
10%.
All right. I'm gonna give it to Harrison Burton.
Harrison Burton, yeah, that'd be
man. I mean, y'all see that shit he did at Phoenix?
I did. You see that shit he did yesterday?
I know, man. Day? Yeah, he did too. He saw that shit he did at Phoenix. He's gonna make up for it. I got faith in the boy. Also, Otis, if you're out there listening, definitely not. But if you are, we love you.
Otis don't have social media.
Otis threw his phone in the river when he retired.
But somehow he was aware of the garage guys. I don't know how that works.
That was also hilarious that he came up to me and talked about the garage guys bit, and I was like, yeah, I wrote that. I wrote that whole thing. But dumbass.
I went with the fighters in the stands. That was really dumb. Stop fighting people at the racetrack. You look like an idiot. And then just Twitter as a whole. Like, fuck that shit. Like, y'all can eat it. And yeah, so we went with that. That's what I went with.
Dumbass.
Are you calling him a dumbass? Or
No, I was asking what Caleb's dumbass is.
Shoot. I don't want to call him a dumbass, but the guy having to replace the board every lap.
What? It was every 10 laps.
Very fitting. He just wasn't doing it fast enough.
Yeah,
I think it said what?
You only had to do it every 10 laps.
Yeah, he just wasn't doing it quick enough.
At a certain point, though, the only thing he had to change was the lap count.
I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, that's a lot to do for one dude. Like, if you have 4 or 5 guys up there, like, I think,
yeah,
you'd be really. I think we'd get it down to every lap. Yeah, that was cool that they kept that though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Oh, mine is Annabeth Barnes Crum.
Yeah,
she's a fucking idiot.
And her husband. Fuck him.
Who's her husband?
I don't know his name.
Is it Jake Crum?
Jake, yeah.
Yeah, he was kind
Punch.
of always a dickhead when we met him at. He used to
Old
used to
Hickory.
work-
You race at Old
no,
Hickory?
well, no, this is when he was a Bandoleros.
Mm.
I used to see him, and he was always kind of a dickhead. But yeah, I mean, like she runs up. If you didn't see the video, go look it up. She is mad at Landon Huffer for something and goes to like, I don't know really what the hell she was doing. Voice her displeasure, I guess, but just runs straight into the back of Landon Huffman and destroys both her and Landon's car. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's the number one rule of stock car racing?
Don't do that.
Don't take yourself
That-
out.
Yeah, learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself. Like, Jesus Christ.
Danica.
So, yeah. So
Danica
she's,
looked like a pro compared to that.
I mean, fucking A, yeah.
Yeah.
She's my dumbass for the week.
Yeah, that's fair. Someone had to say it.
Yeah. Other than that, where are we going next week? Oh, Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah, y'all are.
Oh yeah, that's right. Seth's going to the Indy 500.
The real
No.
race.
Yeah, I'm getting to Charlotte on Wednesday. If anybody's there and wants to say hello, come say hello. I'll actually say hello. Actually, shout out to quite a few people. I actually signed an autograph at Wilkesboro, which was interesting.
I did not confirm this.
Just because you weren't there doesn't mean it didn't happen. Like I was off doing shit. And that, and then like, you know, we had a couple of 3, 4, 5 people come up to us and, you know, say hello. So that was really cool.
I must have been hammered. I don't remember this.
Going places now. This is a big deal.
I know, right? Yeah, you're along for the ride, Caleb. You're the first. Hey, you're my first.
Number one. Fan Caleb.
Yep. But what was I talking about?
Getting
Coca-Cola 600. That's
Yeah.
it. Who you picking, Seth? Wait, I'm picking
Yeah,
first.
you
That's
get to
what-
pick first. Yeah.
Daniel Suarez.
Yeah. See, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah. Yep.
I swear you picked Daniel earlier this
I
year.
haven't. I haven't.
No.
I went through actually today and listened, and I had not picked Daniel Suarez yet
Okay.
this year. But no, me and Migo should have won last year. 100% should have won last year. His pit crew absolutely atrocious, and Chase Briscoe can't drive. What the fuck? I think me and Seth could both agree
What does that
on
have
that.
to do with Daniel?
He's the one who caused the wreck that ended up taking up Daniel Suarez.
Okay. Weren't they like 4 wide?
Yeah, but Chase Briscoe was there, so
That's
I'm
true.
giving it to him. So yeah, I think me and Migo's gonna break through.
All right. I was gonna go with Daniel Suarez, but I knew you were gonna pick Daniel Suarez.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Todd Gilliland. Other than being hot as fuck, he has been hot as fuck on the racetrack this year. Boy's been killing it.
I think it's a solid pick, man. I think attrition kicks in. I think he's got a shot.
Daniel Suarez is 100% going to speed on pit road. So if it just happens late enough, Todd can definitely finish.
It's a 600. He could speed a couple times on pit road, and he definitely will.
2008 Ruderman right there.
2008 Ruderman.
Yeah. Oh God, I hope not, man. I don't know. It's kind of looking like it looks like it might rain. Seth, you might be able to make the race on Monday.
That is true. I have always told Buddy if it 600 rains out, pick up a ticket. I don't care where. I will be there.
I think Caleb can help us out with that.
Got you, brother.
That's
All
true.
right, cool. Yeah, I was. Go ahead, Caleb. Who you picking?
Oh, I'm choosing Blaney, second hottest. Just gonna do it. 4 laps. I think the race is gonna be under 6 hours. Hopefully.
Can I give you a little
hopefully.
tip? Can I give you a little tip, Caleb?
I'm
Yeah,
not giving the good ones out.
All right. Well, okay, I guess.
He's
Yeah,
got to hang on.
I was about to say, just go ahead and pick the 5 car. He's gonna fucking win the race. Like,
Blown tire lap 42, turn 3.
Shit. We're getting like logistics.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
We're getting latitude and longitude. Where Kyle Larson is gonna wreck. I swear to God, if he could bust tire. Yeah.
the overrun.
I guess we're here. Who we picking for the Indy 500? Caleb, you've been paying attention.
Yeah, Graham Rahal, I think, is going to surprise us. He's going to come off the track even though he didn't qualify. I don't know.
By the way, I wrote down 5 car blown tire lap 42, turn 3. So if that does happen,
I'm Jesus. All right. At this point, I'm Jesus.
Ty Gibbs himself.
I have to go with I don't know. Who do y'all have?
I'm not gonna go with my Gomer pick.
I'm gonna go with Pato. He's had a quiet month, but he's been smooth and quick. So
I
I
feel
think
like
as Air McLaren cars, they're strong.
see that's what I'm hoping for. I early in the month really wanted to pick Joseph Newgarden, and I just don't see it happening now.
No.
I'm gonna go with. I feel like it is like I swear to God, it is bound to happen eventually. Scott Dixon is gonna get himself a second. He's just too good, too often.
They're quick.
Yeah, and they're quick again this year, to the shock of absolutely nobody. So I'm gonna go with Scott Dixon, and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pat Award. I think he's gonna do it.
Is
Feeling
that
it.
just because I picked him?
Yeah, no. Fuck that guy. Elio Castroneves, he's gonna surprise us. Starts P20. I think he's gonna do it.
I mean, you could have just picked the other era McLaren cars. I mean, everyone's talking about Alexander Rossi right now.
No, they'll blow tires too. Lap 20.
Lap 24. All right, that
26.
down to
Write that down. Write that down.
7 car.
Danica Patrick will show up halfway through. She'll run a couple laps. Are you going to the snake pit? That's the question. Are you going to the snake pit?
No, he's not going to snake.
No.
Seth is not a snake pit guy.
God no, dude. I walked past. The group we go with park in North 40, which is the 3rd and 4th turn area of the track. And in 2019, I fucked up really bad and had a ticket in the exit of turn 1, which is terrible. Don't sit really low in turn 1 at Indianapolis. Can't see anything. But so I walked across the track through the infield to get there and back. And so after the race, I walked right by the snake pit, and it smelled so fucking bad. Like, everyone was just caked in mud. Now, it did rain a little bit like the day before, but yeah, it smelled grody, and didn't seem like a very fun time. I mean, everyone in there looked like they were on drugs, so they were probably having just a blast. But no, I'm not a snake pit guy.
It's people watching experience for sure. Pretty good.
That honestly might have been my favorite part about this whole week at North Wilkesboro was people watching, to be honest with you, because wow, there are some units out there. I'll put it that way. Mike Harmon would be proud.
Wow.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. Again, reminder: Mike Harmon is in shape. That shape is round.
He's the
in love with your body.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
But
I think we're getting off the deep end.
yeah, we're all right. This has been the show. I've been Buddy Pulley. Seth has been Seth Dolby. Caleb has been CD Spinney. They've been Dumbass. I've been Sundress. And yeah, see you after the Coca-Cola 600, the greatest spectacle in Charlotte.
Fair. Yeah, I guess. Bye, y'all.
See ya.